Welcome back to the Halfway Up podcast, and I call it Halfway Up because you're never finished rising. And today, this conversation is hopefully going to be as enlightening as I'm sure it'll be triggering, specifically for the ladies, because I'm going to once again be very transparent and honest about what I think are the reasons your boyfriend doesn't respect you. Now, before I get into this, I was with my boss, Weezy, from the Horrible Decisions podcast. Some of y'all might know her. And the other day she asked me, what makes you qualified to give someone relationship advice? And my answer was nothing. I don't have any degrees or certifications under my belt, but what I can say is my intention is to always give unbiased wisdom at all times from not only my experiences, but also through the countless conversations vicariously through my friends and my families too. I think the biggest disservice that men and women have been dealt growing up is not being told the healthy truth from either side. Men don't know how to have a healthy relationship or experience with women, and women don't understand what it means to live in peace with a man because nobody taught them either. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you 5 mistakes I think women make to lose the respect from their boyfriends. And the intention is to hopefully reach someone who understands that this is true for them so that they can start to implement some of that change and get one step closer to enjoying their life with their partner and just having a healthy relationship. Number one, you don't follow his lead. I think a lot of the time when men say they don't feel respected by their girlfriend, she gets defensive because in her mind, she's like, well, how can that be? Because I do this and I do that. But what I think she's missing is there's a difference between giving him the respect he asked for versus thinking the respect he already gets should be more than enough. If you want a man to know that you love him, don't tell him, show him. A man's love language is respect. Every time you show him how much you value his mind, he thinks she loves me. Every time you show him how much you value his words and his time, he thinks she loves me. Ladies, if he's proven to you that he's not an idiot and that he's not someone who's just gonna make reckless decisions, then why do you second guess him and challenge his lead? Maybe he sees something you don't. Maybe his intuition is telling him something that you don't hear. A good majority of men have a desire to lead, and you might miss out on a beautiful experience because you won't allow him to thrive. You got to get down to the bottom of why is it that you don't follow his lead? If he's a good man, if he's always done right by you, if you can honestly say to yourself that he's never abandoned you, then what is it that's stopping you from giving him what he wants? Because honestly, a lot of men that single women are looking for are already 1 foot out of their relationships. And if you can't allow him to take the lead, then trust and believe another woman who's ready and healed will. Number 2, you gossip too much. Now, everybody do a little gossiping every now and then, but some women take gossiping to a whole new level. Some women will spend the whole night out with a bunch of friends, be all in the videos on Instagram, shaking their ass, laughing, taking pics, leaving captions and shit, just to come home to me and tell me how much you don't like Keisha. And you know what? Sometimes you and your friends or somebody you love is not gonna get along. You're not always gonna see eye to eye, and that's okay. But you got like 10 to 30 minutes max before that shit starts sounding like gossip. Venting and talking about your issues is one thing, but after a while, it's starting to sound like you kind of like being upset. Like, damn, we've been talking about Keisha stealing your braids, trying to be like you for the past 60 minutes? You got to look at yourself like a channel. When a man turns you on and tunes into you, for the most part, that channel needs to be a good mix of some positive, productive content, not complaining about a bunch of problems that you're really not even trying to fix. And ladies, if this is one of those things where you just want to be heard and you don't want the very simple answer that could fix everything, cool, just let me know. Because as a man, I'm going to tell you 1 + 1 = 2. And you might not even be trying to solve your problems. So save us both the trouble of you getting upset because I had the audacity to be logical with you. And let me know what kind of conversation you really trying to have. Remember, talking to you is like watching a channel. The more good things you got to say, the more I'm trying to watch. Gossiping all the time to your man is kind of like taking his attention for granted. And as they say, you turn into what you tune into. Giving you a free ear to talk bad to me about other people is not going to help me have a positive and a productive day. And if you don't like these motherfuckers, then how about this? Stop hanging out with them. Number 3, you party and you drink too much. If you drink more than your boyfriend, that's a problem. If you can't just have a few drinks and you always got to get sloppy drunk every time, that's a problem. If you got to have a drink every time you having a hard time or you having a bad day, that's a problem. Now, a woman who drinks a lot is definitely someone you would have fun with and that you want to party with. But I think I can speak for most guys when I say it's probably not giving the wife type. If most guys had to choose between 2 girls, One woman that knows how to have a drink and have a good time, but knows she doesn't need it. Or the girl who always goes hard, always needs to be picked up because she can't get herself home. Somehow always finds a way to be confrontational. At some point, you just got to understand it's not sexy to see your partner lack self control. Out of all the things you could be struggling with in life, drugs and alcohol is not one of them. Struggle with this grind. Struggle with being a good person when the world is so fake. Struggle with chasing a dream, trying to balance it all. These are struggles I can relate to. I don't want to be spending time I could have been spending on health and growth on some dumb shit like not being able to handle your liquor. How about we handle this health and this progress instead? As a man, you want to know that the person that you're with is a smart investment. I'm choosing my person based on everything I see today, not hopefully one day because you got potential, but based off of everything that I see today, that their choices and actions make you feel secure that this person isn't going to be a liability and a threat to your peace later. Someone you can build a home with and raise kids with, and anything is possible. But I can't see that in someone who don't know how to have a healthy relationship with liquor. Number four, you messy at home and you don't know how to put things away. There is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, that screams red flag like a woman who's comfortable with not being clean. If your car got all the heels and all the hair extensions just thrown any kind of way in the back of your car, he does not respect you. If you the girl who comfortably lives in messy chaos, goes weeks without cleaning, leaves food and dishes in the kitchen sink, he does not respect you. Letting the trash overflow, just walking by it every day like it's not there, always having an excuse, always gets defensive when he tell you about it. This man is losing his respect for you. Because who the fuck wants to live like this? And where women catch us slipping as men is we think because we met you looking all good and smelling nice that that's the way that she gonna be all the time. Old time, you have no idea 6 months out the year, her house is a functional tornado. A lot of these things are all about paying attention to what you're seeing today and having the discernment to recognize if this is going to be a problem in the future. And call me old fashioned because maybe this is just gender roles, but to me, it will never be okay for a woman to be okay with not being clean. Ever. I don't know what kind of relationships y'all be having, but I'm very confident that there are many men who struggle with this in their partner. And they're not vocal about it because as soon as an argument start, they rather just keep the peace since I can't tell you nothing no way. And number five, you don't invest in his future. There is no greater woman you can be than the woman who supports her man. There's nothing that screams wife to a man more than a girl who supports his dreams. And if you're an ambitious guy on a mission and you've been vocal about what you need to help you grow and she's not invested in your progress, then he's losing his respect for you. Christmas come around and he only been telling you for 365 days that I need a new power tool or I can't afford it because I'm taking care of the rent. I need a new computer. I need to take that class. I need to go to therapy, eating cleaner, whatever it is. If you're not investing some of your time or your money or your energy to help him get closer to that, then do you even love this man? And if you do, how can he possibly think you value him if you don't have an interest in helping him get closer to his goals? Because trust and believe, he looking at Caitlyn and Sebastian. Caitlyn always supporting her man. When he doing a good job, she let him know. When he's struggling with something, she looking for ways to help him not. When he needs to buy something expensive, she thinking of ways to help him get closer to that. As partners, we should be doing everything we can within reason to help our person progress in life. Whenever that support and that investment is coming from one side more than the other, then it's natural to question that person's love for you. You just listening to me talk about these goals and watching me search videos to learn, seeing me sacrifice, trying to get close, and you don't want to help me with none of that shit? He's not going to respect you because the ideal relationship to a lot of men is not the woman who looks the best or the girl who's the most fun. It's the girl who offers support to you. Number six, no discipline when it comes to your finances. You know as well as I do the economy we're in right now. Everything $5 more than it was before. Jobs out here giving people 25-cent raises. It's hard out here. And being smart and intentional about where this money go is more important than ever. And if you living with your partner and y'all taking care of things together, your money is your money. But your money is our money too. And if you out here shaking and moving, buying expensive shit, having random splurges on excessive food and alcohol, clothes you know you don't be needing to buy, thinking about yourself more than you considering how this might affect us, then he is losing his respect for you. Because ladies, you got to look at this from a man's perspective. How do you think you seem to us when you have a woman who has no financial discipline, can never control her urges, always going into debt, always spending all her money, so then she got to have some of yours when she know that all of yours is probably going to the bills, probably going to the rent, probably going to whatever important shit that you got to handle. That does not scream wife. That does not scream wife. And you know what? He might not have the guts to tell you today, but trust and believe, if he can get to a place in his life where he can tell you how he really feel, he is planning his way out. Because in his heart, he knows that being with you is going to be like being in a financial black hole. You always spending money because of how you feel. You always going into debt because of how you feel. Everything is about how you feel, but it's never about what's important. But it's never about what's best for us. But it's never about what makes sense. I cannot be with a woman like that because you're going to be a liability. You always going to have some reason why you went into debt. You always going to have some reason why you had to buy this, you had to buy that. And meanwhile, we being affected by it because you being selfish and only thinking about you. And listen, retail therapy is a real thing. I understand that sometimes you got to do some things to get your mental health right, to cleanse the palate, and just feel okay. I understand that. But it's not okay when you're doing it in a way that jeopardizes the both of our financial situation. It's not okay. And if you don't believe me, ask your boyfriend. Ask him how he really feel. Create a safe space. Try to get the truth out of him. And hopefully he'll tell you the truth. And he'll tell you exactly what I'm saying is the facts. Listen, once again, these 6 things are only meant to be encouraging for the people that struggle with them the most. And I know it's a lot of y'all. I know it's some people that hear these things and you get triggered. I know it's some people that hear these things and you think, you know what? Who the fuck is this guy? What does he know? Well, I know some people actually deal with these things. I ain't just pull this out from the sky. I learned these things through experience, baby. I'm like the locks. I'm living off experience. And if you feel a way, if you reacted to this, then that's probably because it applies to you. If any of this upsets you, it's probably because it applies to you, bro. It's probably because it's something that you're struggling with. And I want to tell you something. The problem that a lot of men face is that they don't know how to communicate because they think that it's going to fuck up their chances of getting in the draws or getting whatever it is that they want. So a lot of guys, they choose peace. A lot of guys, they choose silence, not saying anything at all. And in that way, they don't got to worry about not getting the draws because you don't even know how they actually disagree with you. Because guys are not too different from women. We go and we talk to our homies about how we feel about y'all too. We tell the homies exactly how we feel about y'all, but when a lot of guys get around y'all, it's all peaches and it's all cream. But listen, I am the voice of the streets. I'm the voice of the men who don't got what it takes to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to tell y'all for them because they ain't going to tell you, so somebody got to do it. And, per usual, please leave a rating. Please leave a review. If you like it, subscribe. Leave a comment, share my shit, like my shit, all of that, please, whatever. I need all the support I can get over here, man. I'm just one guy. It's literally just me. I do the thumbnail. I do the edits. I make the outlines. I make the clips. I do everything. And I'm not complaining about that, but what I am saying is if you want to show your boy a little extra love, I'm here to take it. I am here to receive it. I promise you. Without further ado, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. If you made it this far, I absolutely love you. I appreciate you. We're definitely picking up steam out here. I love you guys, man. I love you, and I hope that this is beneficial to somebody. And if it ain't for you, send it to the person that it is. And with that being said, the spirit of the brand, the outro. Whenever I'm working, I will remember that done is better than perfect. And if I'm satisfied with my work, then that means I'm living in my purpose, man. I can't wait till I'm doing a live show and then I say that and I don't even got to finish the words like I'm Drake because the crowd is just saying the rest of it. I look forward to that day. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a great night, a great morning, a great evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening to this. Have a great one. And I'm out. Peace.